Hey, everybody. Good morning. There we go. Can you see me and hear me? I have to run outside in 1 second to grab a delivery and then we'll get started. Of course, they're showing up right as this is starting. But can you see me, hear me? Thank you, love. It's like sitting at the end of the street, not moving. All right. I'm not echoey, right? Because I have both screens on. All right, let's get started. I'm going to have to stop in 1 second to run outside once the delivery person gets here. How did C feel about me buying my new car? How did C feel about me buying my new car? Happy for you with a mix of fear. Like, I'm happy for you. I just hope it doesn't become too much of a burden, I guess, financially. Any messages? Sleep on it. There's some kind of decision that's going to require you to sleep on it, a false start, not taking action immediately. If there's something that your gut is kind of giving you a bit of a red flag about, but you just can't place it, allow yourself to sleep on that decision. Message for love. You're having a choice between a karmic cycle, like looping back around, and what? Detaching from a mindset. Yeah, I feel like this is saying there's a belief system that you're being called to challenge that's coming up as limiting in some way. It's healthy to sometimes challenge a long-standing belief system just to make sure that it still works for us right now. Hold on, everyone. Let me grab that delivery. Give me 1 second. Okay. My volume seems low. Hmm. Is that better? Can you hear me better now? Let me look up here if you're answering. Can you hear me better now than you could a second ago? Or am I still low? Volume's fine now. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, let me get back. You can hear me better now. Okay, yeah, I guess. Did I just turn it on or off of that? I need to have it on automatically adjust. Okay. Thank you. Any good news today? Is there any good news today? It's like you're learning what decision is not going to be for you. You have this kind of almost like lightning bolt spark of seeing things from a different perspective that allows you to kind of close the door on an option that you were back and forth between. What is my soul and spirit trying to say to me that I need to hear? Looping back around to readdress a devaluation when it comes to there's something that you're not trying because you're assuming you're going to fail before you try. Your spirit's kind of urging you to not do that and try, even though there may be some fear attached to it. My grandson lost their 37-year-old dad last Thursday. Oh no, I'm sorry. Does he have a message for Elijah, Benji, or my daughter? Does he have a message for Elijah, Benji, or my daughter? You'll know I'm near when the song we shared finds you at the perfect moment. I feel like that could kind of apply to all. Which one's younger, Benji or Elijah? I feel like there's a certain message for the younger one. When I Look to the Sky by Train. I feel like maybe the younger one has a little bit more of a hard time being supported or like allowing for like emotions to come out when there's space held. And I feel like this is kind of a message of that. Like, allow yourself to kind of change your typical strategy. People will understand. Emotions don't make you weak. Like, allow yourself to open up and be supported. It'll make a big difference. I don't need words to remind you that I'm still here. And I feel like there's a lot about speaking in music, because this kind of is looking to me like a DJ turntable. So it's like now my changing of strategy of how to communicate with you is going to be through music. So I feel like there's maybe if Elijah and Benji and even your daughter could together kind of create a playlist that would almost feel like communication back and forth with him, that may be like all of their input together may create kind of like the perfect communication board type thing between them. Will there be children in my life? Will it be natural, adoption, or through work? Will there be children in your life? I kind of feel like there may be something that is a struggle when it comes to fertility. So, not that that won't be an option, but I feel like with the Fool in Reverse was my answer to that in my brain. Like, is there some kind of struggle that would cause it to go the legal route? To me would be like adoption or work. This would be either. So I said, is there something there? The Fool in Reverse. So maybe it's a matter of choice. Maybe there's something that you choose to not go down the natural path, or maybe there's some kind of hurdle to overcome there. But I do feel like yes, but it doesn't feel like the most traditional route is kind of how I would word that. Anything I need to know health wise? Anything I need to know health wise? I feel like there's hesitancy to get an answer about something. Um, Almost like you might not feel like you have time to look. Mama of three, you might not have time to really look at something. So you're like, okay, it might not be that big of a deal. I don't feel like it is a big deal, but I feel like there's a lot of worry about the what if of something. And if you just got an answer for it, you'd feel a lot better. So that it doesn't manifest as like a physical component of stress because of a non answer or lack of answer. So I guess I'd say don't be worried to look into something if it has or does come up. That just didn't shuffle at all. It's like something may feel a little bit out of alignment, but it's not a sign of something deeper, but your anxiety about it could cause something deeper, if that makes sense. Yeah. Let me see if I can go back on this one. Well, either Elon Musk or Donald Trump face criminal charges for presidential election fraud and manipulation. How should we do this? Let's look into Elon on the first line. kind of giving, throwing the book at him for something, like trying to make an example of him. Ace of Cups in reverse, Queen of Wands, public fear. I'm trying to put you in fear publicly. Page of Swords is the throwing the book. I'm walking a tightrope to do this. I feel like there's going to be an attempt to make an example out of him in an unexpected way that's meant to instill fear. But I don't feel like it has anything to do with manipulation, fraud of the election. I feel like it's unrelated with that Elon piece. Trump? No, it's like I have a plan in place to kind of pull myself above this current allegation or situation. I feel like no, not with Trump, no. Or it won't stick. Why has my significant other felt distant the last few days out of nowhere? When things are not in a state of chaos, it's almost like this Knight of Wands in reverse. It's like I start to feel less passionate because there's nothing amping up the emotions. Three of Swords and the Empress in reverse kind of gives me the energy of like I'm getting in the mood to poke at the relationship to get some kind of validation because I feel like I need to seek it from you in a way that's a little bit not as healthy. In order to Knight of Wands reignite the passion. So it almost kind of feels like things are good and I need you to prove that you love me again. It kind of feels like that to some degree. Are Trump and Musk really fighting, or is this another distraction? Trump, Musk, energy between. There's some kind of exchange here. I'm getting something each for a selfish reason out of this, and I'm aware that the other person's also getting something out of this. But because I'm getting something out of it, it takes precedent over me not wanting them to get something out of it. I guess I'd say yes, with the caveat of like kind of working similarly to some kind of end goal that's in alignment with one another, but not trying to get there in the same way, if that makes sense. Two of Cups and Knight of Cups is interesting. Is my husband hiding money, extra accounts I'm not on? Where is our money going? Is there hiding of money? Manipulation of a burden. It's even like a little suitcase. Is it money? Don't want to worry about. Is it possible it's like being translated into something else? Like, or maybe someone hiding it for him? Like I'm transferring it to someone who's holding on to certain percentages of something for me? King of Swords in reverse. Yeah. Someone that doesn't really know too much. I almost want to word this as it's not happening in the way that you expect. It's like more, I don't know, like done outside of the box or something. It does feel like there's something that's going somewhere that I guess is technically in another person's possession, but it feels like they don't really know like, I don't know if it's like an elderly parent or something, like I transfer this into here, or if it's like something where it's just someone is temporarily holding it. I don't know. It feels like something along those lines. There's another person that's kind of, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a third party. It just feels like, I guess the best example I could give is like feeling like an elderly parent or something, like hiding away that way. Will my health be, how will my health be for the rest of the year? How will my health be for the rest of the year? Making progress, and then what's the devil? I feel like there's fear of a cycle repeating, but there's also a breaking away of that cycle. So it's almost like things improve, but there's still this feeling of continuously looking in the rear view. This devil doesn't feel to be like this devil feels to be more of like a fear around things going back to somewhere that they used to be, more so than something in the present moment. So it feels like there's improvement, um, but also a little stagnancy when it comes to mindset. So maybe anxiety is geared up while physical health improves. Message from my angel Sandy. Message from Sandy. This one always makes me think of someone who liked to tell or hear stories. If I could turn back time by Cher. The night sky in winter holds an answer. What constellation or moon phase connects? So trying to give some kind of clue through winter astrology constellations. So maybe look into that. That may be a deeper message. What also goes into that message? A death and a rebirth that's been a long time coming. So the messages of something to look forward to. If I could turn back time, it's almost like you'll know how your next level up is almost like a bit of a gift from Sandy. Not like a gift, but like something associated with Sandy gave you the key to unlock this specific door, is kind of how that feels. And making the most sense by winter in that constellation that would kind of associate with that similar level up. Having doubts about my birthday trip. Should I just cancel it? Should you cancel your birthday trip? I don't think you need to necessarily cancel it. I just think that I almost feel like you're having these like expectations of maybe not worst case scenario, but like you're having these expectations of this overwhelm when you come back. Like it's almost like you're pre-planning overwhelm from the return of the trip. Page of Wands in reverse, Judgment in reverse. So it's like, I guess the more you can get things in order beforehand for when you come back, the more that'll be alleviated. I kind of feel like your anxiety isn't, or doubts aren't really about the trip. It's about something about the return of the trip. Maybe you have a lot of work that'll pile up or something like that. I feel like if you just kind of alleviate that concern by pre-planning things now to take some of that burden away, you'll feel better about the trip itself. My tattoo artist ghosted me. Did he change his mind about doing my tattoo? I'm thinking I should just ask someone else. Why is this person not answering you? I just feel like maybe they're trying to buy time. Maybe they're a little overwhelmed, maybe a little overbooked. It's like there's things that I can't get out of that are throwing me off balance and I'm trying to just get caught up. Um I would go to someone else though. I feel like this person threw their schedule off longer than what you're going to want to wait, or like their overwhelm or burnout is going to last longer and maybe their work won't be as good because of overwhelm or burnout. Why does my mom force me to watch over my brother? Why does my mom force me to watch over my brother? I feel like it's kind of just a lack of a desire to put anything else in place. This is like competition reverse. So it's like I'm not really looking for anyone else. I don't feel like making the effort to communicate with another person who could do it. I just feel like it's ease. And maybe also like I have less to worry about because I know that, like, if in the case of living in the same house or something, like where else are you going to go? You can't really say no. It kind of feels like that type of thing. More assurance that when I need the help, it'll be there. Message and a song. I don't know this song. 7 Minutes by Dean Lewis. Been 7 minutes now since I lost my way. It doesn't seem like long, but my whole world has changed. My whole world has changed. It kind of feels like a volcanic eruption with like this in reverse and there. It's like something is getting ready to kind of come out through you verbally, intellectually, in terms of a spring cleaning energy shift. I guess I would say what this feels like is allow yourself to kind of work through the discomfort when you're feeling very like I want to get up and do something and don't know what to do. Start to think of everything as I need to just shift the energy, kind of create this like tornado effect. So move things around in your house or change up the music you're listening to or get a new book. It's like any little push you can give. It's like spinning this top. It feels like you're getting ready to kind of change more, but that's what begins it. It's like you're branching out of the stagnancy. Advice for the weekend from my guardian angel. Presence. Just allowing yourself to just be. It kind of feels like you're up against overwhelm this weekend, and the more presence is the solution. Yeah, this is the overwhelm. Don't let your mind get away from you. I feel like some kind of like art form, like drawing or writing or something. It's like this weekend, combat overwhelm by some kind of hand to paper type thing. It'll it'll make it so it doesn't feel too pressurized. Will there be any 4 or 5 category hurricanes this season, especially in Texas? Any 4 or 5? Nine of Swords in reverse. I feel like this is saying it's not going to be. It doesn't make sense logically for me to say no, though, because how would the weather de escalate? So I guess Nine of Swords could be it's not going to be as bad as we may be expecting based off of the pattern of current escalation. Two of Pentacles is like it continues in the same pattern. So we kind of know what to expect. Is that saying similar to last season? Same but different. I guess similar intensities to last season, but showing up in a different way. Strength in reverse. More issues coming from water than last year, but similar strength. So maybe less wind, more water. That's kind of how I'm looking to word that, I guess. Similar pattern structure. Message of guidance. Message of guidance. I feel like there's a need to kind of take inventory of what thoughts are running on autopilot. Like, what thoughts do you keep returning to, and what else can we replace them with? Ace of Wands in reverse is like needing to put out the little fires and replace them with something else. I feel like once your mind changes about the autopilot that's running, it's going to help to kind of. Knight of Wands in reverse, I feel like you're very at odds with yourself. And I feel like starting to do that helps to redirect that course back to yourself. Almost like the frustration you feel towards people externally, you're holding it within a lot. So that helps to correct course in that regard. The last message you gave me from my guides changed my perspective, and then I had some kind of restriction. Can I get clear guidance? What is blocking me, and what restriction should I work on? What is blocking you? Lack of foundation when it comes to your why. Like, what is driving you right now, and in what ways are you maybe still engaging in patterns, habits, behaviors that are not in alignment with that ultimate goal? It's like needing to go full gear into ushering your passion into your life as much as possible. What is blocking me, and what restrictions should I work on? Time management, I guess I'd say, like dedicating time to these specific goals, or dedicating time to figuring out what the goals are, what they can structurally look like, and then just actioning that. It just feels like speed and disconnection because of being in your mind. There may be a little bit of analysis paralysis. So needing to kind of tunnel vision in on what the main goal is and just allowing yourself to go for it. You're welcome, Lucky. Hey, Mandy. Does DA want to reconnect? It's been a year since we've talked. What does DA feel about reconnection? I feel like this person's very focused on what they're doing right now. Like, they're very. I feel like they're not right now focused on the past. They're focused on building something currently in the present, where I don't feel like they're trying to take backwards action. I feel like no, they don't. They're not. At least they're not thinking about it. Not that they wouldn't maybe be open to it. I don't really feel like they would. Seven of Wands in reverse, but it feels like right now they're definitely not thinking about anything rear view related. So it's not like just you. It's anything. Message for the weekend song token. Let me go back to the other playlist. Heartbeat Here by Dashboard Confessional. Oh, and stars. Come on home and let yourself heal. I feel like you need to kind of give yourself a little bit of a break. Give yourself a little bit of a staycation. Not expect so much of yourself. Kind of giving like allow yourself to be in deep hermit mode. Like the devil doesn't really read to me as something wrong here. It reads to me as like this level of like, I'm just going to take care of myself and kind of put my walls up around myself from the outside world, and reconnect. I guess I'd say allow this to be like a spiritually receiving weekend. The theme of this weekend is spiritual receiving. And I feel like that requires some hermit moding. Is CS wanting to rekindle things with me? Is CS... I feel like they're looking at your social media or something along those lines. But it's like I'm not really sure why I keep looking, but I do. Is this rekindling? I feel like no. I feel like it's like I'm watching from afar, but I'm not trying to take any action. How will both the boys' teachers be this year coming up? How will both the boys' teachers be? It feels like one of them you feel a little disconnected from, like in sense of like, maybe I really wish they wouldn't teach that way, or I don't really understand why that's the way that they're teaching it type thing. And then it feels like the other one, maybe you just wish was more hands on, or maybe the student of that one, like your child that's the student of that one, needs more hands on learning than they're getting with the other one. Not that anything's bad, but I guess I would just say those are the things that you're going to kind of be looking at, frustration wise. Will the correct renovations be able to sell my house quickly? I mean, I feel like the renovations are necessary, but I don't feel like they're necessarily going to speed it up. I feel like the word quickly is not one that you're going to use by the end of it. Do I feel like it's going to sell? Yes, but I feel like it's going to sell in part because of the choices you're making for the renovation, and I don't think that that's going to speed up the timeline. What's a time frame? I feel like not this year. I feel like next year would be the soonest, 2026 release. I feel like sometime in 2026 would be the soonest. 2027 maybe at the later end of 2027 would be the latest. I feel like in that time frame, which I feel like is longer than you want, but I feel like some of the renovations may take a minute to do. Did he hide more cameras in the house that I haven't found yet? Is there any more cameras in the house you haven't found yet? This kind of even looks like a little hidden camera. I mean, the tower to this question would be yes. In the place you'd least expect. 5 of Cups. Like a vent or something? Could it be like in a, like one of those grate type vents? The Wheel of Fortune to me would be like still active. I would say yes. Will there be any developments or news within the next year about Nicole Kessinger's role and involvement with Chris Watts? I feel like not news wise, maybe rumors wise, but I don't feel like news. 10 of Swords in reverse to confirm. You're saying within the next year. I feel like definitely not within the next year. I do feel like there is going to be something in the rumor mill that increases from where it is now, or something new that starts that isn't out now, but I don't think it's coming from a news source. I think it's coming from like a gossip page source or something like that. Is it about finding an apartment? I really want to move to Beacon Place, but nothing is available there yet. There are some other options, but I have like a month until I need to make a decision. Is it about finding an apartment? 4 of Wands, the environment of the home, yeah. An offer. Resisting change. I really want to move to Beacon Place, but nothing is available there yet. Resisting change. I feel like you're going to have to look somewhere else. I feel like the timing isn't adding up because it's not supposed to, or like lining up because it's not supposed to. Because death and rebirth in reverse is like somewhere else is more in alignment. Don't hold on too tightly to something that spirit is trying to show you is not in alignment at this time. Will they find a placement for my niece soon? Yes, but maybe not as soon as you would define the word soon. Some kind of delay in getting things like rolling or like moving. Yes, but not as soon as you'd like. So it's hard to do like timing when I'm not sure of what timing would even be like in alignment here, but something like 10 months to a year. So I don't know if that's 10 months to a year from now or 10 months to a year of like some kind of delay, because there is some kind of slowness with temperance coming out first. Message from my mom and a song. Message from my mom. Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel. Rest is important because you can't carry everything alone forever. Can't carry everything alone forever. And needing to allow yourself to be supported. It's like allowing you to receive what you are always the one giving out to others. Especially emotionally. I feel like your mom is saying you need to kind of like lean on a friend and just talk things out, or someone you trust, and just kind of, I don't know, even if it feels like verbal vomit for a second, I just feel like you're holding so much in, and there's encouragement from your mom to let it out. To help reground with that tree on the front. Ask if Scott knows D is boxing. So right away with this, it feels like there's this message of there's a way to do this that will help him stay as safe as possible. Page of Swords in reverse is kind of to me like, yes, make sure that D gets as much information and knowledge about the right way to do things as possible. Because the Emperor to me, and I'll pull a card to confirm, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, only continue once that knowledge is attained. Like if you're going to be a true student of it and learn all the safety precautions, and do it the right way, then yes, continue. But if not, then stop. Will he be injured if he does it the right way, like is being suggested? You know, there may be moments that he has to kind of wait and heal. Five of Cups in reverse, but it feels like healing is there. It just comes with some kind of pause. So yes, but like study it like so in depth that you're giving yourself the best opportunity to combat any potential issues. Message for Sarah from her mom regarding her healing. For Sarah from her mom. Approved is on the back of that card. Approved. For her healing. If she's waiting for something, some kind of decision, it feels like maybe it's like an insurance decision. Maybe it's like a decision that Sarah's back and forth about. This is like a green light to that. You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban. What do I want you to do about it? If I needed justice, you would know. Trust the weight of your instincts. Okay, so we're looking at trust the weight of your instincts and some kind of approval. Yes, foundation. I feel like there's something that Sarah's back and forth about, and this is the mom like jumping up and down like, yes, green light, green light. That's the right perspective. That's the right path. That's the right doctor. That's the right treatment, whatever it is. It's that feels to be like a straight confirmation from mom to daughter. I felt a negative energy around me ever since I cleansed the house about 2 weeks ago. Who or what was it? Okay, so connection, you and them. Someone attached to the house, not you. King of Pentacles, Eight of Wands in reverse. My attachment to you is just from the establishment that you're in. Eight of Wands in reverse, not because of directness. Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, trying to leave but trapped. It just feels like energy you stirred up. I wouldn't necessarily say negative. I would say more foreign. Like, and maybe a little agitated because it's almost like giving the vibe of like I was sleeping and you woke me up. I'm waiting for my chance to leave. It kind of feels like that. But it doesn't feel like anything bad or anything attached to you. It feels like the house with King of Pentacles. My sister's boyfriend passed away last September. Is there a message or symbol from B to let her know he is around? Message or symbol? Campfire. Let's see. Campfire. And maybe a horseshoe. Campfire, horseshoe. Campfire, horseshoe. Horses at night. Horseshoe also makes me think of like a roundabout, like when you're driving and you have to go on those roundabouts. What I want you to remember about me is that I was never perfect, but I always loved you. I almost feel like these are signs that your sister wasn't shown yet because he was waiting to say, these are the signs that I'm going to show you because now you're going to see them. So you're looking for some kind of either picture of a flame or like some kind of random fire out of place. Listen for the music that's playing when this is occurring, and or a horseshoe. But I kind of feel like the message with the Eight of Wands in reverse is like these aren't things that you see all the time that you're like, oh, you know, that was him. This is like, I'm telling you now because I'm about to show you now type of thing. So let me know about that. I'm interested to know if that shows up. How does CS feel about me? How does CS feel about me? I try to not feel anything. I try to not think about it. I feel better when I don't think about it. Kind of giving guilty. When I think about you, I push thoughts away. I feel like this is kind of translating to some kind of, I wish I would have handled things differently. 10 of Swords in reverse so that it didn't end the way it did or it didn't fall out the way it did. Any ancestral wounds that I need to clear? Apparently that one. 1 second. The wound of the singing scar. Beauty formed through repeated breaking. Almost like needing to train your brain to not find the comfort in the chaos and be comfortable with like knowing that things are allowed to be okay. I feel like this is how you reconnect kind of with your creativity, is like allowing yourself to sit in the moment without anxiety, without fear, without feeling like there needs to be thoughts of overwhelm coming in because that's what you're used to. Like that's how you kind of unlock your creative element again. Oh, good luck, Linda. I hope things go well. My nose is itchy, sorry. Message and token from my guides. It's like that little mask thing with the mustache that people put on as a disguise. What do we need to know about that? Someone's mask unexpectedly about to fall off. What does this have to do with you? It's like you've seen enough this time. The next time that someone's mask falls off, it's like you recognize yourself in a place of detachment instead of a place of connecting to caring about this mask falling off. Token. Token for Tinkerbell. Trying to get one at the bottom. Oh, it's like a little bubbly martini. Little bubbly martini. Is it possible to like take yourself on a date or like do something with yourself that typically you would only do with another person? I feel like there's a need to kind of celebrate something, but it's like only you would really understand, if that makes sense. So it's like, in whatever way that translates to you, taking yourself on some kind of date, as literally as you want to take that, it feels like that's going to kind of go a long way in some kind of reconnection with you and yourself. Who or what is affecting me negatively? Went on a trip, I'm fine, come home, back to struggling. Or is it just me subconsciously to move on to where I'm supposed to be? So, what is going on right now that's ushering in the feeling of negativity? It's like others, but not others. It's like others' expectations or the fear of letting, maybe not other people, but like there's this fear of letting yourself down in relation to other people. Like almost like this energy of I have to make a certain level of progress or expansion or money or stability. I guess I would say you went on a trip, and when you came back, it felt like you opened this closet and picked back up all of these expectations. And because you were on a trip, it kind of like put you on pause. So now when you come back, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to handle all of this at once. Like it's all right here, and I need to tackle it all at once. And I feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And I feel like a lot of this isn't necessarily other people sending you negativity, but is expectations that stem from other people that are translating negatively because it feels like pressure, like the closet opening up and all of it dumping on you. So, yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. So, I guess it's like, I guess you subconsciously, but when you bring consciousness to that's what's happening, you can start to one at a time be like, okay, this is how I can handle this or plan for this. You can start to unpack it. Should I express the frustration I feel towards others? It's like I can't seem to rely on others. It's kind of like relying on your spirit team, is how that feels. So, should you release that energy as opposed to holding it in? Yes. Do I feel like you should do it directly to the people? No. Why? Because they've already made their mind up to not hear a different truth. And it feels like that's going to be counterproductive to you wanting to speak your truth to be heard. So I guess I would say, should you express the frustration? Yes, not to the people, but to your spirit team. So write it out, record it out, video it out, burn a letter, whatever you feel called to do. It just feels like, yes, release the energy, but not to the people because it's going to be counterproductive. Message from my friend Dolores. Message from my friend Dolores. It's the little best friend locket. Our connection is strongest when you let memories bring joy instead of pain. What memory does Dolores want to remind you of? Four of Wands. What Four of Wands? The what is crap? Where did the word go? Woodstock. I'm not saying literal Woodstock, but I'm saying like that's the type of memory that this drew me to right away. And Two of Wands is like some kind of travel element to it. So it's like remember that trip. Um, as you remember that trip, I'm able to connect with you. So think of that trip or that experience and kind of shuffle to a song. Go to the second and the fourth song. It'll be whatever goes with the message of that trip. Save You a Seat by Alex Warren. Something we went to together. Bringing up that memory of something we went to together. I feel like it's to make you laugh. I feel like you need a laugh, and that memory is connected to said laugh. Message from my mom and a token. It's a heart with an arrow in it. Cupid. Like, aha, I got you now. Got the message now. A feather. If you follow the signs, you will notice the answers you seek are already in front of you. And there was a little crumb that I was trying to wipe off of there. It's like something is itching you energetically, and it's because it requires your attention to create some kind of change. In your day to day, in your routines. Something that feels to be itching you energetically, a little change will have a big ripple effect. If you follow the signs, you'll notice it's ushering in some kind of bigger change. Oh, this is the sign you've been waiting for. So if you asked for a sign, that would be said sign. Let the bath overflow downstairs a bit. They called the fire brigade. What the heck were they playing at? I had it all under control. Wheel of Fortune makes me think overflow, Knight of Swords all at once very quickly. It's like if it just gets into this one area, it's going to cause a lot more financial damage than it would if it wouldn't get into this area if we cut it off a second before. So it's like we're trying to prevent it getting into this one particular area because the financial damage would be 10 times worse than if it didn't. So there's some I'm trying to cut it off before that. I guess that's kind of what it looks like. Almost like if there's like an overflow that it's not supposed to flow into type of thing because it causes more damage. That's kind of the example I'm getting. Ah, okay. Oh, it would be cool if that would show up. Okay. Funeral is Monday, definitely a spiritual weekend. Okay, so spiritually grounding yourself so you asked about the weekend, spiritually grounding yourself before the weekend because the funeral may be triggering. So the more grounded you are going into it, that makes sense. Yeah, looking ahead before things unfold. King of Swords in reverse. Could you come up with certain like affirmations or mantras? Like if I'm sitting at the funeral and I'm starting to feel triggered, how can I use these mantras or these affirmations to reground myself? Remind myself I'm okay. Remind myself that I'm not going to just fall apart when I walk out of here. Can you come up with those over the weekend so that you can use them on Monday? Like, even if you have to have them in your phone or write them on your wrist or something. Like, I'm sitting here, I feel very overwhelmed. Let me just repeat this that I have pre-planned and prepared. Let me just repeat this over and over until I can, like, be okay again and breathe through it. I feel like that's kind of something that, it's like your husband's trying to pass it to you as a tool. Like, hey, here, you'll need this. Prepare this ahead of time type of thing. Rest is important. Oh, and it's the I love you card was the other one that I put back. Rest is important because pushing through exhaustion won't fix what's broken. So Just numbing it isn't going to work. Allow yourself to have something to repeat to work your way out of it instead of just suppressing. I feel like that's the spiritual homework. Does my higher self think I'm on a good path in my healing journey? And what can I expect in the next 6 months? Call on Me by Starly. It's the remix. When you can't stop the tears from falling down. I feel like you're meant to be really connecting with your spirit team in order to get the clarity that you can't find externally. It's like you're able to make sense of things by looking deep within over these next 6 months. So I feel like the journey now is one into your mind and being very clear about where are any resistances, where are any pieces of stagnancy, where are any, you know, belief structures that don't feel to be in alignment. I guess I would say just kind of taking inventory of your mind to get clear about in which ways are you on your own team and which ways are you standing in your own way. It feels like you're on the right path, and that's kind of what comes next. 4 of Cups. It's like that's what helps to relight the spark, if that makes sense. Because you don't feel to be resisting anything then. Feeling very emotional, trying to organize my flat. Am I coming to the end of a cycle and moving out soon? I feel like yes, but things are going to get to a place where it's like it becomes too stressful and it pushes to the move out as opposed to like it happening just gradually. I feel like you're kind of going to create a new path because of reaching some kind of breaking point with your current situation. To start generating sales, should I focus on social marketing more or door to door style? Social marketing or door to door? Social marketing. Magician in reverse, is there a way that this could be misrepresented door to door? Like the High Priestess in reverse, too. It's like almost like people, it doesn't make as much sense in a door to door style, like where people will question it more, where they'll be more accepting of it in that social setting, if that makes sense. Should I move to an apartment in King Farm, either the residencies or Huntington? King Farm, residencies, King Farm, Huntington. I think I'm reading that correctly. Like King Farm has residencies and King Farm has Huntington. That's how I'm reading that. Residencies, no. Do they have room there? This is like there's something that doesn't add up. Maybe it's a misrepresented price, but it feels almost like is there vacancy? And then Huntington, I would hold out for something better. It feels like there's a better option than these. Why is that? If you wait a little longer, you'll see something that would fit your community preferences better, but you haven't seen it yet, it feels like. Will Dave be together next month? What year? Will Dave be together next month? I feel like there's some kind of communication with a lack of progress. What about a long term? I feel like there's effort with like there's effort that doesn't pan out with the same intentions that the effort was put in. It feels like things continuously keep falling flat is how that looks. Will Kieran get a job until he gets into the police force? Will he get a job? I feel like there's some kind of stepping stone. Is there a potential internship here? It's like there's something that I'm not getting as much out of it as I'm putting into it, which kind of, internship is obviously experience, but I feel like that's talking money wise. I feel like there's something, but it's not ideal, is how I'd word that. How many kids does B really have? How many kids does B really have? Okay, so that would be yes, kids. Page of Pentacles. Is there any hidden kids that you don't know about? I feel like you know about all the kids that this person has. Or whatever number you're assuming is correct. Wheel of Fortune, I do feel like they have kids, but Two of Wands in reverse, I don't feel like it's anything that's being hidden, if that makes sense. Will I like my new doctor on Monday, and should I go alone without my daughter? Will you like the doctor? Yes, I feel like you'll like the doctor. Should you go alone without your daughter? If you're not going to be as transparent with your daughter there, then don't bring your daughter. Like, I feel like this is something where it's like if you're going to be less comfortable and less vocal with her there, and that's going to not have you asking for everything you need or saying everything that's going on, then don't have her there. But if you can be just as transparent, then have her there. Docs found more shadows on Kev's pelvis. Is the cancer spread? Is the cancer spread? Could it be that it's not necessarily spread, but that the area that it was in is worse than it should be? Like it's not out more, but like deeper, if that makes sense. Like it's not that it's this place and that place too, but it's like this place is more affected than we maybe thought initially. Kind of reads more like that. Hermit in reverse is like isolation. So one place is taking a harder hit, but it's not necessarily spreading. Or like one place hasn't healed as much as it was supposed to by this point. It could be that opposite arena as well. How is my mom coping with having her great grandchildren staying over for a year now? I find her crying a lot. How is she coping? A lot of sacrifice. I suppress my emotions about it a lot because I got to do what I got to do. And every once in a while, you find me crying because it's like they just erupt and they come out, and then I go back to numbing it. So it's like you're seeing the physical manifestation of I just can't hold it all in anymore, and it comes out, and then I go back to suppressing it. So like, uh, how is she coping? I guess I would say it feels like the coping is something she's saving for later because right now she feels like she has to hold it together because of these responsibilities. So it may kind of all start to take its toll more as time goes on if she doesn't start to allow herself to process things before it gets to the point of that like emotional explosion. Not like emotional explosion like freaking out, like emotional explosion like crying. Not that crying's wrong, but it feels like the crying is a buildup of a certain period of unprocessed emotions. Message from my guides. Message from my guides. You're showing up for yourself much differently than you were in the past. And it feels like what really is in focus right now is your communication style. So I guess I'd say if you find your communication style changing, just go with it. Don't try and go back to how it was before. You're communicating more efficiently because you've balanced or healed something differently than the past. So don't freak yourself out if your communication style seems more advanced than it was a couple months ago. That's beneficial, like for something you've earned. What advice would Sarah's higher self give her when dealing with her ex husband? When dealing with her ex husband, try not to deal with them. Yeah, avoid at all costs. I guess I would say, in the case of avoid this person at all cost, you know, you can't change this person. They are seeing the world from the glasses that they're seeing it from, and those are not really allowing them to show up as maybe the best version of themselves. So I guess I would say the advice is don't take things personally and try to avoid this person when you can, because it doesn't feel like they're trying to change in a way that's positive or in a way that their communication style is less painful. Um, and I kind of feel like that's like, I like to leave you up in the air without answers. And that's like how I have power over you. So I guess I would say just don't take it personally in the case of something like that. Message for Lauren from her dad. Message for Lauren from her dad. If you only knew the things I couldn't say while I was here. So, what is something that her dad did not say while he was here? It's like generational curse breaker. It's like it ran in our family until it ran into you, and I don't think that he feels like he told you enough how proud he is of you. Oh yeah, that's the offering. I never told you how proud I am of, or I didn't tell you enough how proud I am of you for whatever this, like, it ran in our family until it ran into you. Something with music, and Stand By Me by Ben E. King is the song. Will there be more bombshells in the Karen Reed case? I hope so. Will there be more bombshells? What does the drummer boy do in that Christmas story? Does he usher in like a parade or something? Drummer boy. Drummer boy. Drum roll, please. Yeah, there's some kind of grand finale moment here. Maybe not grand finale as in new information right at the end, but like we're building up to bringing something else in terms of showing manipulation. I would say yes. Um, Something that you'll notice looking back is being prepared for now, but isn't in place yet. Message from my guardian angel regarding the spiritual circle. Regarding the spiritual circle. It's making me think of that one meme. It's like, you agreed to repeat the pattern until it became a prison, and then you were always going to kind of break out of it. That's what flashed in my mind with that. Um you're learning not to second guess your mind here. It's like you're learning that the first instinct of your mind has always held more clues than you've sometimes given it credit for. So I guess I'd say when you can trust your first thought on something without needing proof is when you know you've broken out of this circle. What is the color of my aura? What is the color of my aura? Six of Swords. Green and blue are very prevalent here with a little bit of red. So I would say heart space, throat space, and a little bit of root chakra seem to be in focus. Mainly green, maybe mainly coming from your heart right now. Maybe speaking from your heart seems to be in focus from a grounded place. So those colors, like the heart, throat, root chakra colors. Spirit's advice on how I work with clients. Spirit's advice on how you work with clients. You're able to hold space for it to feel like it's coming from them. Like, you're good at making people feel like your advice or your ideas are what's best for them, or like you're able to put things in perspective in a way where they could see that. Like, I'm seeing how you're trying to do your best from my perspective, if that makes sense. And you're trustworthy. Will I have a baby someday? What is the likelihood right now of your trajectory being one to have a baby? I feel like first step first is about finding that right partner. I feel like the baby for you comes only in a relationship where you feel like you're not going to have to do it all on your own and you're going to be supported. So I feel like in order to align with that trajectory, you first need to find that person. I feel like that's the getting ready for the baby isn't necessarily the hard part. It's the stable foundation of that relationship. That's most important for you, it feels. So could you? Yes. Does it feel in alignment right now? Not necessarily. But could you get there? Yes. Any details about where I'll move to and when or how I'll find it? Lease is up 725. When 725? A month and a half. So you have about a month and a half. Any details where you'll move and when? How many weeks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly 7 weeks. In between 4 and 10 is 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right. I feel like it's going to be down to the wire of you finding something, because right in the middle of that is that 7. It's like, hurry up and wait. I guess I would say right now, just start filling out applications for places that maybe you feel are a little bit out of your initial plan. Like maybe they're a little bit out of the perimeter that you were looking at before. It's like you need to think outside of the box here and something will come more quickly, because it feels like it's going to be down to the wire. So I guess if you consider it, apply for it and see what happens. It feels like you're going to end up somewhere unexpected, is I guess what I'm getting at there. What sign should my mom look out for to let her know her mom and dad are around? What signs? A whale. Where are we going with the whale? Archangel Michael. You're going to notice the way I still answer your questions even from the other side. A whale. It seems random and it seems out of the blue, but I feel like that's literally, we're going to send you a whale in a very unexpected way. That could only be Archangel Michael, like a angelic presence. Like it's very obvious it's from us. Sending it down in a grounded way, in a way that's public. You're going to see it. A whale. Some kind of whale. Literal whale. Maybe not literal whale as in the whale, but like a picture of a literal whale. How do I tap into my knowledge from a previous life as a healer therapist in order to benefit my present life as a therapist? Communicating away through confusion about what? Tap into my knowledge from a previous life. Seven of Cups makes me think like direct channel, like channeled writing, channeled, because Eight of Wands is communication and the Lovers is making a choice to do so. Channeled writing with your higher self. I feel like if you just kind of maybe start to write as if you are remembering it and see what comes through. Almost like if you initially start as if you're kind of making it up but remembering it at the same time and allow yourself to just continue to write it out, it kind of feels like the answer is just right there. Like you just have to create the method for it to be expressed. So channeled writing seems to be channeled writing with the intention of this is my higher self telling me the story. And it may feel like you're making it up, but you're not. It's like a remembering that you can't remember how you remember it. I had a recent upgrade. Any insights onto how I will witness the changes? How will you witness the changes? You're going to be called to learn about something new that's out of the norm. Like, not out of the norm as in like all of a sudden I want to learn about horseback riding when I've been focusing on being a medium. Not that. But like a different modality or a different way to use a modality that I wasn't looking at before. It's out of the box, but it makes sense. And it almost feels like picking up where I left off, but I don't remember picking it up the first time. So kind of like it feels like I'm picking up a past life skill in something that I'm picking up now that I wasn't expected to be interested in. Do you do remote viewing? Why is that coming to mind? Something along those lines, or like maybe something that would feel similarly like branching out like that would. Sorry, I'm going through the list 1 second. Could it be worth it for me money wise to get a P.O. box? No, I don't feel like it's necessary. Knight of Wands. Look up virtual PO boxes. Sometimes they have places that it's not like getting a PO box from the like USPS or whatever. It's like you get a little cubby in somewhere that processes mail. It's called a virtual PO box. You can physically pick it up or you can just have it paid to then ship to the address. But it like is like a midpoint, but it's cheaper. I just feel like for some reason it's not necessary, but if you can find a cheap enough option, then maybe do it to have. Virtual PO box is what that was called. Clarifier of me creating a move. Clarifier of creating a move. I mean, getting fed up. Knight of Cups in reverse, getting fed up and being like, I need to figure out something else because I don't want to stay where I'm at. And I'm willing to kind of get comfortable being uncomfortable. Or with the Hanged Man, it's like, I don't want to be here more than I don't want to be there. So maybe I'm willing to kind of sacrifice some of my initial desires, or maybe like I don't want to do the whole process of the move, but I'm willing to do it because I don't want to be here. Kind of just feels like I get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I take even the second best option because it's better than being stuck where I'm at. Who knocked the honey off my counter? I got it on video too. Who knocked the honey off my counter? Six of Swords. kind of gives the energy of absent-mindedness, like I don't do it on purpose. I'm just kind of doing other things and it happens because I'm not paying attention. I'm not looking at what I'm doing. The devil. Who you assumed first. Who you assumed first if you assumed that this person did it out of carelessness and not paying attention. Will he ever give me moving expenses as promised, and if so, when? I'm going to try and delay it as long as possible and try to not give it to you. Are you eventually going to get it, though? If you put enough pressure on me for long enough. Maybe if you threaten to take some kind of action if I don't. I would say it feels like something that this person's going to try and drag out as long as possible. A year is a time frame that's coming to mind. Or within a year maybe, but a year feels significant. I've been feeling very uninspired lately. Is it just due to the integration I'm going through? Committing to sit with it. Integration, and like as I integrate, I'm becoming aware of more. What's that, Mario Kart, the bridge level where he drives through the bridge? For some reason that makes me think of that. It's like, I guess, overwhelm in your brain processing everything that just happened versus planning everything that you want to come next based off of what just occurred. So integration is a good word. I also feel like it's integration that's causing a bit of overwhelm. So it's like your brain's not trying to take on more because then it'll become too much. So trust when you're feeling called to pull back. D's current feelings for me. Is he interested in a relationship anymore? What are D's current feelings? D's current feelings. I feel out of my element, and I feel like it may be easier to leave things where they're at because I've already started this process of backing up. Is he interested in a relationship anymore? Not really sure, but it kind of feels easier to not. Like, as in, if I'm that person, I'm not really sure what I want, but I feel like it's easier maybe to kind of continue to back away since I've already started to. Will the inner child program I've been working on work for people? I feel like you're on to something, but you still need more of the pieces in place. Something in the foundation missing. I guess I would say adding in a little bit more. It feels like there's a lot of like prompts and maybe adding in more education, if that makes sense. Maybe not prompts, might not be the right word, but like actionable things. Maybe adding in more of the education element in like a interesting way, I guess. Message to many family members. Reunion at Shayna's July 5th. Who is coming? What sign should we look for? Who is coming? What sign should we look for? What's not being said that's actually expected? 7 of Wands in reverse. Message to my many family members. Family reunion at Shayna's July 5th. Who is coming? What sign should we look for? Something in what's not being said. It's like something that's you're going to catch on to that's not being said will make sense later. It's like you'll fill in the blanks of it later when your perspective shifts. Who will be there? I feel like there's going to be someone significant missing, and maybe that what is not being said is linked to that. Something about that person's absence. Are Jacob's feelings for me real, or is he playing me? Are Jacob's feelings for me real, or is he playing me? There's this feeling of like you allow me to show up as the version of myself that I'm trying to become. So is there sincerity in this? Yes. But is there also a bit of like trying it out? Also, yes. Like trying out this version of me that I want to be for size out. So I feel like there's sincerity and ego mixed in. Do I have a sudden change coming in regard to my path? I feel there's something brewing. Do you have a sudden change coming? Maybe not sudden change, but it feels like you're getting additional pieces that you're then going to figure out how to use. It feels like things are going to start to ease up tension wise. So, not like a sudden drastic change, but like a depressurization. Was the bird that hit my window coming home from Chicago a sign? Was the bird a sign? Yes, about what? Bird hit your window coming home from Chicago. Like a confirmation that disconnection from something that was keeping you stuck. Bird hitting window. The bird could be flying free in the sky, but it's running into a restriction. You cut off the right energy, is kind of how that feels. Like a sign that you're no longer running into the windows. You're able to like free yourself from that restriction. Is the number 420 mean anything for me? I keep seeing it. Balancing out action with what? I feel like it's symbolic of like because of what else that date is associated with. I feel like it's symbolic of you being present in the moment, like you're taking action when you need to, but also resting when you need to. There's this balance that you're establishing, and it feels like that's symbolic of that. Is it optimal that I go to the Fill a Bag charity sale today? I feel like it could go either way. Like, don't stress yourself out going if you have something else you want to do. But I also feel like it would be an eye opening experience in some way, but not like make or break necessary, if that makes sense, with the Emperor in reverse. What is my income outlook over the next 6 months? What is my income outlook? I feel like focusing on what you could action spending less on, or where you could maybe not like cut corners by like not getting what you need, but like what isn't necessary. I feel like the change comes from cutting things away as opposed to some kind of increase, but there is some kind of positive change from action you're taking to cut things away. Will we get along well in Spain? Will we get along well in Spain? I feel like as long as if there's things like that you don't want to do or the other person doesn't want to do, as long as you're vocal about them in like a calm, let's just talk this out way, I feel like there may be potential for tension if things that, you want to say are unspoken. Like, I don't really want to do that, or I'm ready to leave, or I have a headache, let's lay down type of thing. Like, I feel like as long as that's spoken, there's everything will go fine. Has Jacob been intimate with anyone other than me since we've been seeing each other exclusively around Easter? I feel like no to how you worded it, but I do feel like there's maybe still connections that I haven't all the way cut off from my past, if that makes sense. But it doesn't feel like it's to the level of intimacy that you're fearing. Um, Feels like you would know clearly who I'm talking about. It's probably the most recent ex. It's like there's some communication that you might not know about, but it doesn't feel like it's been anything intimacy wise. All right, let me see here. Am I caught up? All right, I think I'm caught up. Let me see. All right, everyone, I'm all caught up. I do owe you an extra half hour, but I'm going to put it into next week because I'm going to catch up on readings today. And try to get some true crime out to you as well. I think me and Mandy are going to do a remote view. So I'm going to hop off. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I do have a podcast episode that I'm editing, an extra episode that's preparing for my interview. So that one maybe will be up today or Monday. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to my mods. I owe you an extra half hour next week. Talk to you all soon.